At the invisible microscopic scale, the surface of your living face is a highly textured, natural biological terrain. The outer layer of this landscape is the stratum corneum. It is composed of tight, flat cells designed to function as a biological seal, locking internal moisture in while blocking external threats from entering the body. Millions of resident microbes, including the helpful Staphylococcus epidermidis, live across this surface. These organisms are environmental responders that thrive specifically on this dry, stable ground. Naturally, the skin exists as a self-regulating ecosystem, maintaining a precise balance to support its role as a defensive barrier. This environment changes immediately when a thick, wet fabric is applied over the living tissue. This creates a state of occlusion. By physically blocking the flow of air, the fabric traps evaporating heat and sweat directly against the skin surface. Within minutes, the dry landscape saturates. The skin surface is submerged in a temporary swamp of high humidity. This raises a biological question. How does a living ecosystem respond when its natural environment is suddenly and completely sealed off? As water pools beneath the fabric, the dead stratum corneum cells act like sponges, absorbing liquid and physically swelling. This distorts the barrier, forcing microscopic gates to open wide. The mask's liquid flows directly into these gaps, bypassing the skin's usual filtration system. Because the mask forces these gates to remain open for 15 minutes, the active ingredients travel much deeper into the tissue. This forced permeability is why the skin appears temporarily plumped. Cells are mechanically gorged with water. However, this sudden humidity creates a crisis for the skin's resident flora. The flood of liquid can wash away helpful microbes or trap them in an anaerobic environment, forcing them to shut down. Further stress comes from the mask's chemistry. Because the liquid is water-based, it requires preservatives to prevent mold from growing inside the packaging. These chemicals cannot distinguish between a mold spore in the package and a helpful microbe on your face. This diagram shows the collateral damage. As preservatives enter the skin, they neutralize the resident bacteria, forming your natural defense. In the attempt to keep the product fresh, the chemical system inadvertently dismantles the skin's living protection. Beyond the chemical shift, the physical barrier starves the skin of fresh air. Cells enter hypoxia, a low oxygen condition triggering a rapid cellular stress response. Without oxygen, the skin cells lose the energy required to process and clean up foreign chemicals. This allows the trapped preservatives to become more toxic to the surrounding tissue. This leads to lipid peroxidation. The trapped chemicals attack the healthy fats that keep skin soft, breaking them down into fragmented waste, like chemical rusting. As these fats degrade, the Worcester seal cracks, and cells release inflammatory warning signals. What began as a tool for hydration can, if used too long, physically degrade the structural foundation of the skin. When the mask is removed, the humidity dome vanishes, and the landscape is suddenly exposed to the air. Visually, the result is an undeniable glow. The tissue is saturated with moisture, appearing smooth and firm to the naked eye. But the microscopic view tells a different story. While the surface looks plump, the cellular landscape underneath is swollen. The protective oil shield is broken, and the microbial population has been severely diminished. The immediate cosmetic glow masks an ecosystem currently recovering from a sudden and intense biological disruption. Biological systems are resilient. If given time and fresh air, the skin will naturally rebuild its oil defenses, and its microbial neighbors will return. The risk lies in chronic overuse. If we constantly force these extreme environmental shifts and chemical floods, the ecosystem never has the opportunity to return to its stable baseline state. True skin health is not a product of forcing ingredients past our natural defenses. It is achieved by respecting our biology, using intense interventions in moderation, and allowing the skin's living microclimate to thrive in its natural state.